country's 5th annual Taste of the Wild. It's going to be a little different this year, but we're really excited to bring you the event. We're first of all thankful for Raleigh Custom Homes for lending us this beautiful space for our video today. And before I introduce Matt and Ricky, I'm excited to say thank you to Great Outdoor Provision Company and to Greenfront Interiors and Rugs for being our sponsors today. They really made this event possible. So soon you'll hear from Chef Ricky Moore from Saltbox Seafood Joint and Matt Register from Southern Smoke Barbecue, and they are going to talk about everything from time at the Culinary Institute to international flavors to why they really just enjoy cooking with North Carolina food right here in North Carolina. So we're so excited to bring you over to them, and we'll see you in a minute.
What's going on, man?
What's up, my man?
Good to see you. Good to see you.
What are you cooking? Like, there's so many ingredients. I feel like I'm not doing my job because I don't have like all these ingredients.
Doesn't matter. Listen, Pamlico County crab rice. Local ingredients here. Obviously, this is a dish that, well, first of all, when I grew up, rice was a breakfast item as well, along with, you know, your other starches like grits and that sort of thing. But, you know, we had a lot of rice for breakfast. And I'm a big crab fan. Now, I mean, obviously, I can't do nothing without bacon sometimes.
I know, right? I'm making collard chowder.
Word. Collard chowder?
Yeah,
yes.
This was kind of one of those harebrained ideas I had one morning in the restaurant.
Right.
It was raining really slow, and we had just had a catering.
Right.
Had a bunch of collards left.
Right.
And I'm like, hey, this is going to be good. Ham, collard stock, cream, potatoes, all this stuff. I have no salt.
Sure. Right.
Because we got brown butter. I use salted butter.
Right.
So we're going to do the brown butter. We got country ham and the collard stock has got a little bit of salt to it.
Okay, like I'm going to talk about this parsley here.
Okay.
And you notice the way I'm cutting it. I have a sharp knife. I'm not chopping it, I'm slicing it. All right, so bunch it all together in a nice little knot and just shave it. So also parsley, Matt, for me, you know, we're culturally conditioned, you know, particularly in our industry. And historically, you know, when you go to an old school diner, what do? You have breakfast, they have like an orange peel and some parsley on the plate. You know, it's classic, right? Yeah. For me, parsley is a seasoning. Herbs are seasoning. Yeah. They are not meant for color. Yeah. Now, obviously, it's going to be eye appealing based on the preparation. You know, if you're doing a salad, you want it nice and bright, you know, but it's a seasoning. So I treat all herbs like seasonings.
All right, so Ricky, my ham and my onions are almost done.
Beautiful, looks good.
I cook a lot with garlic.
Okay.
I just like garlic, you know.
So I'm at a stage now where I pressed up my bacon. That's going to be a garnish, but also a starting base of the flavor. Okay, now save some of that bacon fat. I'm going to take it old school for you, bacon grease, because we had a can in our little kitchen there. We had bacon grease, fish grease, and chicken grease. So I got the fat from that, all right? And now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna start to saute some vegetables, and I'm gonna start off with onion.
So while you're doing that, I'm gonna throw my potatoes in here.
All right.
Because I wanna get those potatoes kind of greasy.
Yeah, that's right,
and I think cooking really goes back to like what you've grown up on and what you know.
Right,
you know,
exactly.
That's one thing I really try to take into when I'm cooking is I love to take things my grandmother cooked.
Right.
And then kind of do my spin and my take on those, like things I grew up eating with.
A good cook can't be too far away from their culinary DNA.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like you come from you grew up and that's your origin. Mm-hmm. If you stray away from that, it tends to be something unnatural or it doesn't even taste the way you want it to taste, you know? I mean, I've traveled around and did a lot of things, man, but I rolled right back to my Eastern Carolina country boy growing up, you know what I mean? A pot of beans and some ham hocks or something like that, or neck bones.
Yeah.
I just added a little crushed red pepper, you know, to my vegetables here, and I'm what we call sweating them out to sweeten them up and extract flavor. Medium heat, real soft.
Ricky, I'm gonna go ahead and add my collard stock.
Okay.
I usually add about 1.5 cups, 2 cups.
Right.
I'd love to like a medium heat.
Right.
And I'm gonna add my collards. Now, these are Birch Farms collards.
Yes.
Out of Faison. Most of the time, I am proud to say that if you eat a green and our restaurant, it comes from Birch Farms.
Right.
They've been really good supporters of us for a really, really long time, the Birch family. And in my opinion, they grow maybe the best collards around.
Fantastic. Matt, the best crab meat or crab comes out of Oriental. Now, folks from Maryland will challenge me on that. They will challenge me. A lot of the crabs that they're selling up in Maryland comes from us first, beginning of the season. And also the rice itself, all from the same area, probably in a 40-mile radius.
Yeah.
So this is a hyper-local dish, okay? For me, crab rice needs to be a balance of rice versus crab. So there's a ratio in my mind. So it's like 50-50. Let's go with 50-50. Okay?
I love that. That's like dirty rice for me. Like, I want more sausage
Absolutely,
than I
man.
do rice.
Absolutely. So I'm gonna go ahead, actually I'm gonna add the rice first. And I'm gonna kind of put it in stages so that it's kind of fries a little bit. Now I haven't turned the heat up yet, but I wanted to kind of fry a little bit. So yeah, we want to kind of turn this fire up, get it kind of hot here. And so I'm gonna make sure this is all heated through. And now we want to put this crab meat in. I'm gonna put a little bit more of this bacon grease in here. I think this is important, aiding the flavor. I'm gonna finish it up with this beautiful crab meat, my friend. And yeah, I'm generous. I got lump crab meat. Yes, I'm generous. And the goal is to try to fold the lump crab meat in without breaking it. That's the goal.
So here's the last thing I'm at.
Okay.
It's just started bubbling right around the edges.
Okay.
I'm gonna add a little heavy cream.
Beautiful.
And see, all of a sudden, it's like a chowder.
Absolutely.
You know,
Absolutely.
and that was kind of where the idea came from. Is I love clam chowder.
Sure.
I love it.
Sure. Sure.
So instead of using clams naturally, we use a little country ham.
Sure.
You know, and the potato. I don't think there's anything that we cook that I don't walk by
Right.
and taste.
Sure.
But that ingredient right there is the one ingredient I think people at home don't use enough of. It's salt.
Absolutely. I understand. Don't make it too salty. You know, there's a level of confidence that I think people miss.
Yeah.
You know, that's all. You know, you're so concerned about making it too salty, and it cripples you.
And
You
see,
know?
we use, and there's so many different types, you know.
Right.
You know, we use Sea Love sea salt out of Wilmington.
Right,
That's
right.
Wrightsville Beach.
Right.
But it's just according, like, you know, everyday salt and then
Sure.
finishing salts and those kind of, like a lot of people with a steak.
Yeah.
They cook a steak
Right.
and they don't salt their steak afterwards.
Right. Even when they slice it.
Yeah. Then that's when you put your, you know, and that's
Absolutely.
You always have people say, well, what can I do to be better at home? Well, taste your food
Taste it.
and add salt.
Absolutely. And
You
then,
know-
and then make sure you buy things as local as possible. For me, man, my business model, Saltbox, wouldn't be if it wasn't for North Carolina fishermen.
Yeah.
And I speak and preach about that. You know, I think there's a lot of fishermen down there, man, who are struggling. Okay, and I try my best, particularly right now, to buy as much as I can all the time. You know, so
Right.
North Carolina seafood, North Carolina fishermen, we got to celebrate that.
Well, and the farmers and growers in North
Yeah,
Carolina
yes.
are pretty amazing.
So listen, I'm gonna go ahead and sprinkle my garnishes, if you will.
Okay.
You know what I mean? A little scallion right on top. Okay.
Man,
so-
that's
so
beautiful.
This is
Pamlico County in a skillet.
absolutely, man.
But it's you, Ricky.
Yeah.
That's you.
Yeah.
And I think that's one of the
yeah,
cool
yeah, yeah.
things I love about you is I can look at a picture or something and I know, hey, that's Ricky Moore.
Right.
This is Matt Register. I don't always cook pretty food,
Right.
but it's always soulful.
Right,
And I think
right.
when you cook from the soul, people know it.
All right, now we're heading out back. Let's go see what Chuck from Great Outdoor Provision Company is up to. I think he's got a whole camping setup back there. Hi, Chuck.
Well, hello, Ann Monique.
How's it going?
And welcome to our campsite. We're
Thank
just
you.
tickled to have you here.
This is cool how you set up this campsite right out here.
Well, it's a delightful day and has been part of our Backyard to State Park initiative. So
Oh.
it was perfect. kind of
Cool.
a backyard scene.
Well, I'm
so.
going to ask you more about that, but first I want to hear
Yeah.
a little bit about why Great Outdoor Provision Company has been a part of Taste the Wild for so many years.
Well, yes. What Taste of the Wild? Well, I think it's been at least 4 years where when Walter came to us with this concept, it delighted us really.
Yeah.
It does such a good job of celebrating local businesses, restaurants, artisans that we have in the Triangle. Delightful food range of hosts that we've been a part of, and when they mentioned that they'd have Ricky and Matt here, we just couldn't turn it down.
Yeah.
So it's been special. It's been fun to see it develop over the years as well.
Yeah. Well, and it's cool. I feel like it's interesting to me how food and getting people in the outdoors and kind of making those connections to people seems like such a part of your brand as well.
Well, it is. At first, one would think of us as strictly like freeze-dried ice cream sandwiches or something like that, you know. But we've evolved over the years. We have a lot of foodies within our company, and we've expanded our kitchen collection quite a bit. Not quite at the level of Southern Smoke or Saltbox Seafood.
They could probably do something with it though. Those guys, can, you know, they're joint guys, you know.
Yeah. So now this, you know, the solo stove that we have out with us, this 2-burner Primus stove that we have, it really does extend the kitchen outdoors. In fact, we're finding a lot of families that have added it to their backyard scene.
Yeah.
So that's been fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And how does that also extend to the program you were talking to me about the parks?
So our Get Camping program has evolved from our Get Hiking program. So a number of years ago, we began leading hikes through our friends at Get Going NC.
Yeah.
And those hikes opened our eyes to see how many people, particularly here in the Triangle, are interested in hiking, being outdoors, but may not know exactly where to go or how to start or what gear to have. So in the camping aspect, we said, what if we provided a full featured tent, sleeping pads, chairs, stove, and made it available where someone could show up at a campsite and have all of that ready and available to be somewhat concierge turnkey. So that's how Get Camping began. And this fall, we will take our Get Camping on the road. We have 3 state parks designated. We'll be at Falls Lake. We'll be at some point in later fall at Hanging Rock. And we'll also have some plans to be at Morrow Mountain State Park.
Cool.
So trying to be a little bit across this beautiful state of North Carolina.
Yeah.
And excited about that, really are. Our staff are such experts, so when you're in the store and you're trying to figure out how to go camping, they can get you out the door successfully with that program, or if you're interested in purchasing these items and using independent of Get Camping, we can certainly take care of that too.
Well, even just as a resource for knowing where to go or what time of year is when's best. Like I know we've just talked to you guys for that camping story we did last September. You know, everyone's just so knowledgeable that if you just want to plan a trip, you can just ask somebody too.
Right.
Yeah.
Our staff are great about knowing where to go. And, you know, it's fun. We brought the bike. We just picked up bikes, and Retrospect is a really fun bike brand. And a lot of our state parks, I remember growing up, what you did with your family when you were at the state park, you know, mom and dad might be wrestling with getting the tent up, but the kids, we took off, right? We were on their bikes, you're riding around the loops, and you have that open space to adventure in.
Yeah.
It can be a fantastic digital detox for all of us. It really can.
I'll definitely be going to your site, or maybe sneaking in and getting one of those campsites before somebody else does.
Yeah, so our website will host the Get Camping. You can figure out where you want to go, or if you want to choose one of the sites we pre-selected, reserve your weekend. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Cool. Well, we're so happy to have you guys be a part of this again this year.
Well, Great Outdoor Provision Company and Walter Magazine, we have a lot of fun together.
I know.
So it's
we go
glad
back
to do it again.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Next, we're going to sit down with Patrick Casey from Greenfront, and he's going to tell us a little bit about the furnishings in the house. Hi, Patrick. Nice to see you. And I'm so happy that Greenfront in Raleigh has been able to be a part of both Taste of the Wild today and so many of our other events in the past. I was hoping you could talk to me a little bit about how you guys feel about like truly being rooted in North Carolina and your connection to the community.
That's a great question, and rooted here and in Virginia as well. We have multiple stores. But here, I think it's great to have this relationship with Walter Magazine, especially as of late, featuring. We've done it for years now, but I think people are taking more of a notice now, and all things local.
Yeah.
And so it's really made our relationship blossom, and using our advertisements to showcase other businesses and charities and builders and developers and so many things. They've been a part of our shoppers and our guests and clients, and also with you, so it's nice to see this wonderful collaboration coming together.
Yeah, well, and it's so cool for us to come into a home like this that's kind of a blank slate and see how you are able to transform a space and rethink it and kind of like bring it to life for us, you know?
Oh yeah, and this one was easy. It kind of reminds me a lot when I lived in Florida. So this indoor-outdoor living is just wonderful. They've got everything you can imagine, from the pool to the hot tub, the fireplace, the kitchen behind us. I just love it so much. It made furnishing this space so easy.
Yeah.
So we have just wonderful things that the way we furnished it out here would be the same. The same kind of furnishings and look would be in the interior as well. So it just flows once these beautiful doors are opened wide up. You just go from one to the other. And so we borrowed from the texture and color of the ceiling in here, which is a natural stain color, which we incorporated here in the rattan and textured weaves and grass cloths and jute, and just paired it up with a lot of off-white and navy and cream accents.
But yeah, no, I really like how you kind of pull the tones from inside, because I think sometimes when you have a space, it's really hard to figure out how do you get this to connect to this to connect to that and have it all flow together.
Yeah, absolutely. It was easy here from the open floor plans that Garland Custom Homes uses. But the best way to do it is just to keep that same template throughout the first floor. Borrow from the natural materials they use, which we've done here as well with the indoor-outdoor goods, weather-resistant fabrics, and even rugs and carpeting, which they flow nicely indoor and outdoor. So if it's made for outdoor, doesn't mean you can't
Use it inside.
Yeah,
Well, I know for me, like I have kids who spill things and draw on things, and sometimes I choose to use like weather-resistant material just to resist my children.
Absolutely, absolutely. And the two vendors that I've used the most here today is from Summer Classics and Gabby Home, which is actually one company, but people most, especially in our area, think of Summer Classics as being truly outdoor, and then Gabby being indoors. But now the two are kind of joined together. These chairs right here can easily go into a covered porch or a three-season porch or back into the dining room.
Yeah, it's beautiful. I think you guys did a really nice job kind of making this space feel warm and comfortable for us for the, for the interview and for the videos, and we're just so happy to have you be a part of our Taste of the Wild today. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, now let's go take a seat. We're going to have a little bit of a Q&A with Ricky and Matt. Well, thank you guys so much for doing that cooking demonstration. Since this is all about Taste of the Wild and cooking sustainably in North Carolina, do you guys mind each both speaking a little bit to why you think it's important to eat local as much as you can?
Eating local and buying local and supporting local producers, fishermen, farmers is just the appropriate thing to do from a community standpoint. From my background and how I was reared, that's what was always the case. So it kind of always been like part of who I am. Now, not outside of being a chef or a cook, but I've always been that person who believed that it was important to buy things that are close to you. I think also as a restaurant, celebrating regional cuisine or regional offerings. Our consumers deserve to know what it is, what it looks like, what it tastes like, and who it comes from. So I think those are my thoughts.
Golly, you took all the really good.
Come on, man.
No, I agree with you. We have some amazing farmers,
Right.
and it's kind of that circle of where my farmers are buying a barbecue sandwich from me, while I'm buying something from them, and they're employing people by this circle, and it's building up the community.
Right.
I think we're really lucky in North Carolina because we do have so many, really and truly, there's not many things that are not made in North Carolina that are great quality products.
Right.
And I can't cook great food without great collards.
Absolutely.
And there's a level of pride when a squash farmer sees their squash on your menu, or you're growing your own food, and from start to finish. And I love it's getting to know the growers and and we're passionate about food. Well, they're just as passionate about growing it,
Right,
as we are cooking it.
Yeah,
So
right.
we're lucky.
Absolutely.
We're really lucky.
North Carolina, in terms of its, in my mind, a la terroir, if you will, is brilliant.
Spell that.
No, but I mean,
I agree.
I'm very prideful. See, look, as a trained cook, we used to go away from our own environment and celebrate, which is not a bad thing, other cuisines.
Yeah.
And for me, I'm like, whoa, hey, my upbringing, the food I ate, is important too.
Yeah.
Southern Smoke is a regional North Carolina barbecue joint. Saltbox is a regional North Carolina seafood joint.
Yep.
That's what they are.
Yeah.
The DNA is extremely connected, in my opinion. I don't know. I just I'm pro North Carolina, man, when it comes to food,
No
man,
doubt.
because we got it all.
some
We
good,
got the seasons, we got the area, we got the fields, we got a lot of great stuff, man. And I feel like we need to be the voices. I want people to come here and say, man, I got to go to Southern Smoke and get a barbecue sandwich because Matt believes in it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Honestly.
Yeah.
I want to go to a place where somebody believes in what they're doing.
Yeah.
That's important.
Now, even within that sense of place, I know you guys have sort of developed your own recipes and kind of your own takes on stuff. Do you have a process for trying to come up with a new recipe? Does it just happen by accident? Like, how do you kind of, or when you're coming up with a menu or something, how do you kind of come up with different ways to do it?
Mine is kind of very organic. I'm constantly looking for new things. But I may go 2 or 3 months and no new things come to you. And then I kind of push myself to, I'm a big reader. I'm constantly reading. I want to learn more about the food I cook and kind of be better at what I do. But I'm one of these people where I'll ride down the road and say, okay, okra. Well, what can we do cool that honors that history behind okra that we've never seen before? Food is interpretation.
Right.
It's bringing a memory, or I may go sit down in a restaurant somewhere and eat something and say, I love this so much. I want to kind of do a version of it, but still honor Southern Smoke and my cooking style, what I'm known for.
Right. When I think about food and I think about recipes and I think about what I'm doing at Saltbox, I try to stay extremely authentic, first of all. I don't do things just because, stylistically what I am a joint. So there's no, I don't take this really ultra artistic expression, but more of a sure-handedness of cooking. The idea that, okay, if you come to Saltbox, here's what I believe is authentic to this region. Here's why I'm doing this. Here's the reference point to this modern interpretation, possibly. You know what I mean?
Right.
That sort of idea that, you can't be, like I said before, disjointed to your culinary DNA. Your authentic self, when you cook from that place, I don't care if you're making a hot dog. All right, if you do it nicely,
if it's a great hot dog.
Yeah, it's just as good as a lobe of foie gras served with some sauterne.
Yeah.
I also take inspiration from eating stuff that was jacked up when I grew up eating it. We talk about squash swimming in water. We talk about things that just the liver and onions. Hated it. Hated it. You know what I mean?
Like liver pudding, man.
Yeah.
And now I'll drive out of my way to eat chicken gizzards and and liver pudding.
Absolutely.
If you've got great liver pudding, I'll drive an hour out of my way to go eat it.
For me, the idea, Matt, is you know how people say, "Oh, I grew up eating it, I hated it," or they come to the restaurant, "Oh, I don't like slaw."
Have you eaten our slaw?
They don't know.
Yeah.
They've been traumatized
By
bad
their parents
slaw.
cooking.
Yeah.
by squash swimming in water.
And we say, and my comment to a lot of people at the restaurant, I'll say, I'll tell you what, if you don't like it, come back up here and I'll give you something else if you don't like it.
Well, actually, your comment about the squash swimming in water makes me think about what you guys were talking about with the home cooking versus the restaurant cooking, what you make for your families. Like, are there like restaurant dishes that you always make at home? Like, what are your kind of quick, easy,
God, I'm going to get
things?
buried for this.
Uh-oh.
We don't eat a lot of like my restaurant food at home. Like my kids they don't necessarily want me to eat like cooked collards.
Are you the main cook at home? Actually, that's kind of a
Yeah,
follow-up
like
question.
I'm okay with it too.
Yeah.
Man, we cook, naturally a lot of Italian food.
Yes.
We cook a lot of Mexican food.
Right.
But I mean, we grill,
Yeah.
but me cooking, like coming home and cooking ribs and no. I mean, we don't. You do a lot of chops and sauces and potatoes and that kind of stuff. Every once in a while, I get like real fancy and cook something.
We do home cooking, okay, for real, okay. We don't. There's no
plated,
no
garnish.
big, no.
No sprinkling or zesting.
No, one pot dishes.
Yeah.
I'm gonna open up the grill. My son loves steak, but yeah, everything is good American home. Pork chops, corn, and mashed potatoes done.
Yeah.
Okay,
and I think that's the misconception a lot of people don't realize. I will go and because I'm on the road catering a lot.
Yeah.
I'll cook all this food, be beautiful food, be delicious, and I'll end up eating like a bologna sandwich and a bag of Doritos at like 11:30 at night.
Yeah.
And two, you don't want you don't want fried fish after you've been in Saltbox all day.
No, I want a delicious. Let me show you what my go-to is. My go-to is this. I like peanut butter and jelly. Peanut butter got to be room temperature, and the jelly has to be room temperature. It just has to be. I like ice cold. I take my frosted beer mug, I put that in there and pour milk in it.
Oh yeah.
I love that. I just love
See,
that.
but I'm a sucker for like a bologna sandwich.
That's my go. Well, no, I go to those too, man. But something about that peanut butter and jelly and cold milk.
And probably my favorite thing is hot dog.
Hot dog?
Like a bright leaf hot dog with some good chili.
Charred up.
Charred up.
Man, please.
With
delicious.
chili and good slaw and mustard.
Yes.
And like steamed a bun a little bit.
I'm hot dog. A good, delicious drive-in style hamburger.
But see, that's what I love about Saltbox. I love fried fish. You and I've had this conversation.
Yeah.
I can go and sit down at Saltbox on a picnic table and drink a Sundrop.
Yeah.
And have flounder or fish and oysters.
Yeah.
I love beautiful food.
Yeah.
One of my favorite people is Scott Crawford.
Yeah.
And his food is so freaking beautiful, like it almost makes you sick. It's so beautiful.
Right.
But I also really like a fish, like a box of fried chicken from a gas station.
Yes.
Open it
up with some loaf of bread. Some
sliced
bread.
And some of those square potato wedges.
Yeah, exactly. I don't want a biscuit. I want a bun. You know what I mean?
Maybe it's just because we own joints.
Yeah.
We're joint people.
See, I'm pretty sure you and I was blessed, man, to go and eat out at these places back in the day that I'm very fond of. And the reason why I started Saltbox, I wanted something very definitive.
Right.
When I was growing up, you went to one place to get fish, one place to get chicken, one place to get the burger. You know what I mean? It was very defined, and they did what they did very well. So I enjoy the idea of somebody taking something that I just grew up with, and they put so much energy into it.
Yeah.
I just love that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean, honestly, And
I know we could talk all day, but thank you guys so much. We really appreciate you being a part of this.
Thank you.
It's always a pleasure to talk to you guys.
Appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much for joining us today. I hope you had as much fun as I did listening to Ricky and Matt banter about everything from hot dogs to North Carolina seafood and everything in between. I'd like to thank again Great Outdoor Provision Company, Greenfront Interiors and Rugs, and Raleigh Custom Homes for helping to make this event possible today. And we hope to see you at Taste of the Wild next time.